Welcome to Design Thinking with the Innovation Diploma Program. The Innovation Diploma Program believes that giving students opportunities to learn design thinking not only teaches important skills and mindsets, it also helps them develop the mindset that the world can be a better place, and they can be the ones to make it happen. So, what is design thinking? Design thinking is a human-centered approach that focuses on using empathy to understand how to better create solutions for intended users. Design thinking gives us a roadmap for how to solve problems while focusing on the specific needs of the people facing that problem. One important idea to remember is that we can use design thinking to do much more than simply making material objects. As designers, we can create many different types of solutions, such as products, services, spaces, processes, and complex systems. In the Innovation Diploma, we break down the design thinking process into 3 steps. We first explore to learn more about the issue we are working to solve. We empathize with the stakeholders involved by researching the problem, examining expert opinions, looking at solutions that have been tried before, interviewing direct and indirect users, and observing the overall problem from multiple perspectives. Next, we want to create possible solutions. So we first work to brainstorm multiple solutions so that we can select a few of the best ideas and create rapid and rough prototypes that we can share with others. Once we have a rough prototype, we test them to find what works and what needs to be redesigned. Finally, we learn by synthesizing what we have found, examining the feedback and observations we made through our testing, and then possibly brainstorming again and creating iterations of our prototypes that come closer to creating a sustainable solution. Let's take a closer look at the explore, create, learn steps in the design thinking process. Our first step is to explore. The core principle of design thinking is empathy. Design thinking is human-centered. The process begins by exploring for deep empathy and understanding of the needs and motivations of your specific user. In this case, the students, teachers, parents, staff, and administrators who make up our everyday world. In the first part of design thinking, students practice skills to achieve the outcomes of the explore phase of the process. Students conduct research needed to create an academically and ethnographically informed problem statement. They evaluate the reliability of the sources. They conduct a review of the existing valid research related to a problem and identify direct and indirect stakeholders connected to this problem. Students collect information from stakeholders and experts with diverse backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences. They use a variety of appropriate ethnographic research methods, valid sample sizes, and interpretive methodologies. They make inferences based on background knowledge and concrete details. And finally, students synthesize inferences about end users to create end user profiles and write a generative problem statement that clearly demonstrates empathy. In the next phase, we begin to create. Another very important principle of design thinking is engaging in experimentation. In the create phase, we continue the design thinking process through practicing ideation and prototyping several brainstormed ideas. We seek to view the problem through beginner's eyes, taking time to think of numerous possibilities and to design rapid and rough prototypes. By practicing these skills and mindsets, we can develop our creative confidence and start to see ourselves as designers. In the create phase of design thinking, Innovation Diploma students practice skills to achieve the following outcomes. Students will build prototypes to test that solve an important problem or meet a significant need. In order to focus their work on those needs, students will draft how might we questions related to the problem so that they can generate lots of creative ideas and possible solutions. They will select and use a variety of brainstorming techniques so that they can lead productive and inclusive ideation sessions. Students will evaluate a wide range of ideas and identify the ones with the most potential. Then they will use appropriate, rapid, low-investment prototype methods for products, services, spaces, systems, and events that they may have come up with as possible solutions to their problem. Finally, they will identify any underlying assumptions that a prototype may make. And our final phase is the learn phase. In this phase, designers focus on learning from their work. They intentionally try to notice and reflect on different nuanced aspects of their design work. They seek to unpack their experience by examining the interactions they had with others and by noticing aspects of the process that influence their thinking. Finally, they must look for biases that may have emerged, for aspects of the experience that didn't work or maybe even completely failed, as well as what went well and the resulting successes. This may not be the actual end of the process, but a place for designers to check in before they go back to empathize more and continue to iterate. During the learn phase, the outcomes are that students can analyze the data collected in a skillful way and then apply the results to inform iterations and further prototyping. That they can design tests and help learn about specific assumptions of the prototype. Tests that allow observations of end user experiences and reactions, not just verbal feedback. Students will practice taking feedback with humility and curiosity. However, the feedback may not necessarily be the direction taken. They will analyze testing data, for example, identifying pain points, trade-offs, patterns, outliers, etc., to make decisions about the prototype and their possible iterations. They will use iterative prototyping and/or parallel prototyping approaches. And finally, they will demonstrate an evolution of the prototype that becomes more refined as well as more aligned with their users' needs. The Innovation Diploma Design Thinking experience culminates with students telling the story of their learning journey. In the oral defense, which is the final portion of the curriculum, students will be asked to present the design thinking process that they used, explain the ups and downs they experienced, and describe the insights and advances they made through their work. This presentation allows students to practice polishing their storytelling skills by zooming out from their experience and describing the learning that they did and the hindsight they gained by authentically and thoroughly engaging in the design thinking process.